In 336 BC, Alexander the Great conquers the Persian Empire, Egypt, and much of the Middle East. Of course, this includes our promised land. Sorry, Persians, it's been cute. We call this the Hellenistic Period, and it lasts until 164 BC. Hellenism refers to Greek culture, and Hellenization is using Greek culture to unify a conquered people. I mean, as I just said, we have your promised land, you have the Middle East, you have Egypt, you have the Persian Empire. This is diversity run amok. Much like in a private school situation, you have diverse students. How do you begin to unify them? Well, in a private school, it can be something as simple as a school uniform. We know there's diversity, but there also needs to be unity, okay? So the school uniform serves that function. Alexander the Great used Hellenism to unite the diversity within and among his colonies.
You're kidding me, right?
Greek becomes the language of education. Okay, so you're going to learn how to read and write Greek.
2, 3, 4.
In Greek.
Consequently, the Hebrew scriptures are translated into Greek. We call this the Septuagint. The Septuagint has the word 70 in there because the tradition says it was translated by 70 scribes.
You're kidding me.
Don't know if we can verify that or not. But it's called the Septuagint. The Septuagint is the Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures. It's in the Septuagint that we have 7 additional books that were solely written in Greek and not Hebrew.
This is Greek to me.
This will be later referred to in Judaism and in Protestant circles as either the Deuterocanonical or the apocryphal books of the Bible, which is why us Catholics have 7 additional books in our Old Testament, in contrast to our Protestant and Jewish neighbors.
Are you kidding me?
Hellenization had an emphasis on wisdom and philosophy. And you can see how that emphasis on wisdom and philosophy is going to find its way into those 7 deuterocanonical books. The Greeks also introduced us to a body and soul separation. This is new because the Jews believe something about you went on to Sheol, right? And went on to an afterlife.
We're going to live on!
You have your physical self that will die, and then you have your soma, your essence. This is probably the earliest foundation to what Catholics are going to call the soul. Greeks would have referred to it as soma, essence, which isn't the same as a soul, but it's a separation, 2 forms of body. And one goes on after you die and one does not.
Are you kidding me right now?
This is philosophy here, people. The Hellenistic period also brought us archangels, talked about in the book of Tobit, which is one of our Deuterocanonicals. And what inspired the archangels was essentially the heavenly court of Zeus.
Zeus? Yeah, Zeus, as in father of Apollo, Mount Olympus.
In Greek polytheism, of course, you know that Zeus was like one of the more powerful gods, and then he had other gods that were in charge of different responsibilities.
Zeus! You got a problem with that?
This found its way into the Judeo-Christian tradition with the introduction of archangels. The Hebrew scriptures say there are 7 archangels, but only 3 names are actually mentioned: Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel.
Are you kidding me?
And archangels serve different functions. Of course, Michael is the protector, Gabriel is the messenger. Gabriel shows up in the New Testament. Due to the popularity of philosophy, the Greeks emphasized the search for wisdom. The Greek word for wisdom, Sophia. Now, in the New Testament, we come to understand, especially in John's Gospel, that Jesus is the source of all truth. And wisdom is how we understand truth, correct? So, Catholics like to look back at the Hebrew scriptures, namely the Deuterocanonical books, and look for references of wisdom. That word Sophia. Whenever Sophia shows up, you can swap that word with the word Logos, or if you feel compelled to, the word Jesus. Every time Sophia shows up in the Hebrew scriptures, we can understand Jesus more. Because Jesus is truth. Jesus is wisdom.